I've always been a fearful person. When I was a child, I somehow inhabited the thought that the world is a bad place, full of bad people. That resulted in different kinds of fear that grew with time, bigger and bigger, hindering me from simply being. I found ways around. You always find ways around to not go outside, not use the subway, avoid darkness, and so on. Use alcohol for socializing to at least maintain the illusion that everything's okay, even though it wasn't. My friends and family were worried about me, but couldn't help me because I was afraid of letting them. What a paradox, right? One of my best friends somehow managed to look behind my facade and said to me that if I would not face my fear or at least try, it will never get better. I was imprisoned by a false sense of confidence I gained when drinking, so I would hide at home 5 days a week, and on a weekend I would drink so much that all my fears would go away, but return even harder the day after, keeping me in my room for the next 5 days again. I maintained that circle of destruction and false happiness until I hit rock bottom. I had to leave, so I booked a flight, one way, 5,000 euros in savings, scared shitless, but also for the first time in a long time, hopeful. Hopeful something would change. I totally forgot how to socialize when I wasn't drunk. So I would go in different cafes and restaurants with the challenge to just say hello to a stranger, and I got hellos back. Who would have thought? I rented a bicycle, cruising down the island, rediscovering a side of me I almost thought I lost. Randomly stopping at places I considered beautiful, filming, taking pictures, smiling even. I was slowly building momentum, applying for Muay Thai lessons on the side while regaining my love for fitness in general. I managed to bring myself to talk to other travelers, but nothing led to a friendship. But that was okay. A friend of mine came by. At the same time, Songkran happened, which is New Year in Thailand, heavily celebrated on the streets, and I drank alcohol the first time in 30-40 days something. And the first time in a long time, drinking didn't feel like an escape from something. The hangover didn't change though. I've always loved the ocean. I remember swimming as a child, carefree, happy, amazed by the beauty of the sea. Spending days with swim goggles and snorkel, looking at small fish or trying to catch little crabs in little water pools. But then I became scared all of a sudden. Always thinking I would drown or get eaten by sharks. Finding excuses on family vacations for why I would not go in the sea anymore. As I am writing this, I realize how many other things I loved doing as a child but became scared of when growing up. Makes me sad. My friend had to leave, and for me it was time to go somewhere more adventurous, at least for my taste. So I went to a more secluded place. More possibilities for adventure, more potential to regain the confidence of being myself again. In social media, you always see the extremes of everything, and it kinda downplays one's own achievements. For some people, the challenge is to jump down a 40-meter cliff, for others it's to simply go outside. The problem is, the only one that gets praise is the more extreme of both, leaving you with the feeling of being a failure of some kind. I found myself in a hostel, secluded in the jungle, surrounded by mangroves. My biggest fear was again to talk to other people who all had friends or someone to talk to, it seemed. I hid inside my room, fighting for the confidence to attend for the breakfast the next day. I did it, and was proud, and even got asked if I would be down to join a trip with a speedboat the hostel provided. Happy for the opportunity that opened up. I had one of the best days, seeing incredibly beautiful sceneries while talking to other people. It felt like heaven. Even though that may sound stupid, it was a big step for me, providing enough confidence for further travels. So I looked up an island that didn't seem to have a lot of tourism going on and just went for it. A small lodge, little balcony, just sitting there drinking instant coffee, smoking cigarettes and watching animals. That's all I did for 4 days, leaving me questioning how life will be when I return home. But not yet. I rented a motorcycle, even though I do not have a license, driving cautiously, of course, around the island. No tourist inside, no worries, no fear. So, time for tourism again. Koh Phi Phi. Koh Phi Phi is the most famous Thai island considering tourism, I guess. The moment I entered though, I felt a bad vibe. Tourist season was over, the locals probably had enough and were exhausted. But something else was in the air. Something dark I couldn't explain. I explored the island. Abandoned huts, resorts, and trash added to the vibe. I saw a lot of drug addicts, the chef of my hotel included, leaving me scared to sleep, smoking one cigarette after another, followed by an endless seeming thunderstorm. It was time to leave. Perhaps another country. Thank you for listening and see you next time.